future, talk radio will actually educate, inspire, and make you think. The future is now. Topics and music that affect your life from Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com.
Well, her name is Heidi Selexa. The world revolves around her smile.
I bought a super pretty pink bikini this weekend to match my super pretty pink lipstick.
Oh, but being in a new relationship is so fun. Like talking to him on the phone and you talk for hours, and then finally like somebody has to get off the phone, so you're like, bye. No, you hang up. You hang up first. Hello? So then you have to call him back a 5th time, and then the 6th time, and so then the 7th time, you just can't stop hitting redial. And then you break up.
Let's see if I can pick up a gay guy. How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Good. You're cute. You're welcome. Do you want to be my friend? You're obviously committed and somebody's a little jealous of somebody. Did you see that? Like, I can't believe you didn't just say, yeah, why don't you just come here? Because they have another token gay girl. Hi, God, it's me again. I tried to call you earlier, but you didn't answer your phone. I went right to the voicemail.
She's got the giggle. She's got the wiggle.
So we're clapping for bowling here. That's so many noises all in one. When was the last time you actually looked at yourself in the mirror and said, wow, I really like what I see? I mean, really looked at yourself in the mirror and said, wow, I really like what I see. I mean, everyone walks around in this world taking selfies of themselves, acting like they're not vain, and perhaps they're not. We all want to look pretty. So just because we want to look pretty does not mean that we're vain. Isn't it our responsibility to take control of our actions? What about on the inside? Do you feel pretty on the inside? Now that's hot and sexy, feeling pretty on the inside. I'm having Tibetan bowls done because Tibetan bowls helps put you in alignment, which gets you centered, and then that makes you ready for the right person. Isn't that right, Kirsten?
You got it, babe.
I'm here with Kirsten doing Tibetan bowls live on Out of the Friend Zone. I'm Heidi Selexa. Kirsten, say your last name, Korot.
Korot.
It's Korot. That's a very pretty name, by the way.
Thank you.
So explain what you do and what we're doing to me right now.
Well, we're doing our own version of a sound bath, which is putting the bowls around the body and on the body. And the sound goes in and the vibration goes into the body at a cellular level.
Can we hear her okay? Should we move the microphone to her? Yes. Okay, go ahead and say that again, Kirsten. I'm sorry to have you repeat yourself.
That's okay.
It's like I'm a deaf man who's purposely not listening to the woman talk in the room. But go ahead and explain what you do so people know.
So I do sound baths.
Can
so
we
it's
hear her?
using the
Okay.
Tibetan bowls on the body.
Mm-hmm.
It's using sound and vibration to go into the body at a cellular level to calm the brain, to calm the body, and to help remove blockages, to help balance the body out. It puts the brain into a theta and alpha state, relaxation, and gets you more connected to yourself. And
I feel connected.
the vibration goes in, if you can feel it, down all the way through if you imagine like throwing a stone into a pond.
That tickles.
Right?
I feel the vibration.
And the ripple effect. So it's going in through the body, in through the tissues, in through the blood, in through the cells, and down into helping relax the body and remove blockages.
So basically, if you just do Tibetan bowls, does it help balance out everything and all of a sudden make somebody who's like an angry woman or an angry man or, somebody who just really has, bad things going on in their life, does it kind of balance them out?
It's not an all of a sudden. It's not like a magic
it's
pill.
not like jumping into the bathtub and getting clean in one session.
It's not like that. No. I know we all want that. But it takes work on the person's part as well.
Okay.
But what it does is it brings things to the surface. So if we're sitting on emotions and we're sitting on negative feelings or anger or blockages, it helps bring it to the surface. So it is something where a lot of times it's a different experience for everybody. Some people may get the giggles. Some people may.
Are you talking about me, Kirsten?
So some people might get a little teary, but it's all meant to kind of release what's been sitting in your body, because a lot of times we sit on stress, and stress can become illness.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
And also, like, being clean. I always say ABCs to the guys, because I think a lot of guys go out in the world without a shower. They go on a date without necessarily being groomed properly. And they always want to know, well, how can I get the girl? Or, like, why this? Or, it's like, well, you got to present yourself right. First of all, you got to shower. Nobody wants stinky. But if you're clean on the inside, too, that's confident and sexy. I saw a really interesting looking man the other day. Okay, he was a really sweet looking guy, but you were kind of afraid to, you thought he might be like a kidnapper or something. He had that sweet face, but maybe underneath there was something else really scary. But then, as I looked at him and I saw how he behaved, I said, the guy is so confident and he owns it. He's got this furry face. He's got whiskers, he's a little overweight. But the guy had the best personality in the world. And how could you not love that? I thought, this is the kind of guy you'd want to marry. And then, come walking up is this woman who was, fairly attractive, but, she was real earthy, which is fine. I'm earthy too, I don't always wear makeup. But I felt like they found each other, and it was this couple that was so confident and that they had no issues. I just felt like their energy was really light and they were attractive. I wanted to talk to them. So like when people say how, what's going on with this, or people can actually read your energy on the outside.
Sure, and we're all energetic bodies, right? And we all vibrate at our own vibrations. It's like what I was explaining tonight. It's like if you think of yourself as like the radio tower, right? And you're sending out your own frequencies,
right?
And everybody has their own radio station. So you're playing your favorite radio station, which is you, and you come against someone else who's got their favorite radio station, which is them.
And your frequencies aren't balanced.
But sometimes it's just a matter of stopping, listening to your radio station, and turning yours down, turning theirs up, and listening to the beauty of the music that's on their radio station.
Oh, now does that mean shut up and don't talk? Listen to them for 1 second.
Getting still and quiet, which is important too, and also for me, it's about people connecting into their own hearts, right? Because when you come from a place of your heart energy and your love, and hearts do entrain to each other. The energy of the heart it's more than just something that beats the blood. It also is, has us on an energy level, right?
Can we talk as we're dinging?
Yeah, we can talk as we're dinging. You want to get dinged some more?
It feels so amazing. I think this is it. It calms you down.
Yeah.
And now I know. Explain what you're doing with that. You're going around and around on my.
Move in, and if you take deep breaths, and just kind of pull the sound into your body too. And even just close your eyes for a minute. I know it's radio.
Yeah, I know.
I want to not talk.
Yeah, the host is not talking right now. I'm being healed.
But actually, it might be good to just feel what's going on in your body and explain it to people.
Yeah, you explain. Oh, I see. You want me to explain it? I feel the vibrations going around through my is it my second chakra?
This is your third chakra.
My third chakra.
This is like the power center. When we think about where people get blocked, the areas they get blocked a lot of times are in the ego, right?
Yeah,
and in their power centers. Those are the three areas that get blocked the most. And this is the power center, and this is your core.
Well,
so this is where it's your own creative juices, your own power center, and whether or not you're connected to that or not.
Am I connected right now to it, or is it hard to tell? Because I haven't been.
It's very open.
Yeah, I've been open.
This is also a place where people hold a lot of anger.
Oh well, I don't feel very angry right now, but I'm starting to. Maybe there's hidden anger that's coming up through.
There can be stuff that comes up. So what happens with sound is because it goes in very fast and very deep. Things that we're sitting on can be pulled up.
Yeah,
and
I
so
feel.
Part of the work is letting go of that and putting it out of your body.
I'll tell you what makes me angry, and thank God for James, my producer. He's the pretty blonde over there. She's periscoping right now. I'm addicted to Periscope. I periscoped yesterday when I did my bonfire. She said, "Lift your chin up." Is that what you're saying?
Saying talk louder.
Talk louder. Oh, hi. Talk louder in the mic or on
She's
the.
in the zone.
Yeah, this is really amazing, Kirsten. This is amazing. I feel very centered. I feel very relaxed. I feel very calm. I feel like I could go out and rule the world. Oh, this is amazing. You know, what's funny is I listened to your CDs to bed, and then I woke up in the middle of the night and I thought they were still on. I think the noise is permanently in my head. And that's a much better sound to hear than somebody else's.
It's interesting. So when you listened to it, what came up? I'm curious.
Oh,
I had sent her the music.
I feel
yesterday.
Yeah. Okay, right now I get frustrated with all the work I have to do. I like all the social media, computer. I feel like I'm around a lot of computers, which is why I wear the titanium chip.
Okay.
Because I feel like it totally like pollutes you, the computer rays. And believe it or not, I don't get out of the house sometimes, and I'm like, Heidi, you need to get out of the house and just have a life. Like, get out of the house, sweetie. You know, because I'll get so stuck with doing work and all the different things for the show, you know, and I got picked as the host for the big NAB convention, the National Association of Broadcasters, on camera radio. I'm so excited. It's in April in Vegas. It's a great, huge event with every network. So I'm really excited, but I don't feel overwhelmed now when you ding that in my ear.
Because we get in the mind chat.
Yeah, you just shut me up. Can we bring these on a date and do it when we're on a
Actually, couples ones are fun to do.
Yeah, we're giving away, by the way, if you're watching on Periscope and UBN Radio, hi. I know I don't normally start the show laying on a table, but I think this is my new thing, okay? I think I'm going to start on a table like this, reading my diary. This is really
So I'll
fun.
get call at 2 in the morning. I need you right now.
Yeah. Kirsten, I have a question. I just finished the CD. Really quick, Kirsten's giving away 50% off couple session and single session, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
what do we want them to do? We just want them to tweet in, tweet to me, tweet to you, tweet to anybody. James, what do you
Tweet in
think?
To you.
Okay.
And let's take the first couple and or unless you want to take the 10th.
Yeah. No. We'll just take if somebody calls in now.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't we have them call in? Our telephone number is area code 323-284-7826, 323-284-7826. But see, I don't want to complicate my vibrational healing flow. Actually, I feel like I can multitask right now. I feel very relaxed. But yes, I listened to your the first one you sent me, which was because I'm a Libra, an air sign. Did you know I was a Libra, or did you just send that to me?
I think you told me, which is all about balance.
Yeah, okay. I like to be balanced, which can be difficult. And the last one you did me, Kirsten, I actually felt like when I went under, like I was going to sleep and I was listening and I was just in a very quiet place and I wasn't worried about when am I going to get married and what am I going to do tomorrow, you know, which stuff for work am I going to do, and I started getting overwhelmed. I just stayed very calm. And I felt like this vision of, oh, everything is in its own time. It all comes together at a certain time for a certain reason. And sometimes it's different for one person than another.
Exactly.
Because a lot of my girlfriends from high school are married and got married young and had kids. And I want that too, but I always put my career first. I knew when I was a kid. Are you smiling into the camera? Hi.
And that's what I was talking about. We get stuck in the mind chatter and our head starts spinning with all the stuff. And when you get quiet and sound goes in and calms the brain down, then you can start paying attention to your intuition more and connect the dots below the surface.
Yeah, and I felt like peace, like, oh, everything is okay. Everything like it was like a square, like a gold. I don't know if I can explain it right, but part of the square was like a dark blue and the other part was like gold. And it was like, and I felt this force that was saying it all comes into a complete, every issue in your life or everything that you're going through or like every relationship problem or, you know, whatever, it all comes to a completion and it comes to a full thing. You have to get out of your own way.
You do, right?
So it can work at a faster rate, right?
Right, and that's why I like to combine the sound and the guided imagery together. So that, because people will get visuals when they're listening to the sound, they're feeling the sound in the body, and then it's trying to understand what the visuals are that come up.
Yeah, you probably do couples who feel like they've lost their love and feeling for each other, and it kind of helps balance them and get in sync.
Where it helps to connect them,
and
to connect that heart connection, right? And to get them kind of resonating at the same frequency together and just being in their hearts, which is really important.
That's lovely. Now let's go sit.
Go of anger or if there's anything that comes up, and being in a safe place where they can share that with each other.
That's lovely. So I said the word lovely. I'm very relaxed, obviously. I feel like I'm an 80-year-old woman. That is lovely. So why don't we go over, if we could maybe position ourselves, or James, do you want to get on the table? Or why don't we bring Kurt in here and have him lay on the table? And Kurt can be my guinea pig. I like having boy toys, because then I can just have him do whatever I want when I want. And then that way, it's kind of like some men like to do things for women. And if they're younger, I can just boss them around,
I'm not touching that.
I don't I don't want him. I'm just saying, hey, can we bring Kurt in here? And Jarvis, can we bring Kurt in here? We should put him on the table and experiment with him. He's a very cool, in charge man. That's what's sexy about Kurt. You know that, Jarvis? James, isn't Kurt cute? He owns himself, and I love that confidence he has.
Adorable.
He's adorable. He looks like a cartoon character. You just want to bite him. This is really lovely. So who's next on the table? Because I'm going to explain what you're doing while we're doing this, because I feel like the camera's not getting me. Is it getting me? Am I on camera?
You're on camera.
Do you want me to just sit here and relax?
Go ahead and lay down there if you want.
We'll do a little more. It's really relaxing. I don't want to give it up yet, James. I'm just kidding.
You don't want to give it up too soon.
This is really great. Can you tell by the sound and the vibration what's going on in the person's body by their heat?
I can tell when someone's blocked in certain areas.
Am I blocked in my third
I
eye?
keep feeling like I want to calm your brain down.
I have a very you know that I had a brain scan, and it's 40 to 50 times faster than the average person. I'll be 140 by the time I get Alzheimer's. That's how fast my brain works. He said that's why you're good on the air, because you think so fast, but he goes, you got to calm down.
You got to balance.
Yeah,
So
you got to
that's why I'm
balance
going
it.
Here. That I do feel.
It's so cool.
Because we can get bouncy, right?
I'm bouncy.
It's not a bad thing. It's part of your personality. It's great on the radio, but sometimes we just need to calm the bouncy down.
Yeah, I know. So I started taking bubble baths with salt and listening to your stuff, your CD, which is really amazing. What's it called again?
Elements.
Elements. And where can people get it at your website?
Yep. KirstenKorot.com.
KIRSTEN.
And KOROT.com.
And you could tweet me at Heidi Selexa, HEIDI SELEXA.
So sometimes it's just fun to see what comes up.
Well, yeah, unless you don't have like a tizzy fit. Some people probably freak out and cry, don't they?
You know what? It's not something to be afraid of, because we all have things we have to release. So what I tell people is
that right there is pulling something out.
Right. So you think of it like when you're sitting on emotions, right? And you hold back tears. It's not good for the body to hold it back, because it takes more energy to hold it back than it does to release it.
But that doesn't mean that people can just go out in public freaking out.
No, but that's a whole reason why when I'm doing this, it's in a sacred space, so that anything that goes on doesn't... We're doing it publicly here, but normally it doesn't leave the room.
Right, so you have all these secrets of people. Do you ever feel like you need to clean yourself out if you pick up people's energy?
I think what it was, and we talked about this, I was very psychic as a kid, so I shut that down at certain points. Now I learn how to monitor it and just know that I'm going in, separate myself, and just be there for the other person.
Yeah.
And not carry it with me after.
So in general in life, when a lot of people haven't had the Tibetan bowls, and they don't feel this amazing feeling that I'm feeling right now. And then you have very angry couples who are in volatile relationships and unhealthy relationships, or, they just can't figure things out. I would recommend that they come and do this, because this is amazing.
And the other thing I tell people is you have to be willing to want to do the work, because it's not just me waving a wand over, hitting the bowls, and it makes everything go away. There's homework. But
What's the homework?
We're like a team. Well, you know what? It's fun homework. right? So what I do is we look at what's going on in somebody's life, and I give them little lessons or things they can take for the week. And then if stress or something comes up, they can check in with me, and we talk on the phone. And it's like anything. If you want to move through something, it takes work, but it can be fun. It doesn't have to be scary.
This is really opening me up. I feel like my third eye is like, it's got her eyelashes on and all. It's like I feel really open right now. I'm like, woo! I feel like I want to tell people or talk to you about so people can hear. Not everyone needs to do online dating. And a lot of people float through, especially in LA. It's very difficult here to meet really stable people and have stable relationships, even with just girlfriends or just people in general, because everyone's here for their own mission. You know what I mean?
Right.
If people could really live in another city and do what they want to do, they probably would. LA can, the traffic's awful. Parts of it are very dirty, It's lovely here and beautiful, and we love the ocean, but there's ocean in other areas. So if people can, center themselves and get stable and in alignment, don't you think they'll naturally attract the right person?
I think when you are centered in yourself, then you're going to, it's just like they talk about the law of attraction, right? What you are is what you attract. But the most important thing is also being yourself, because in relationships, part of the beauty is being vulnerable too, and allowing yourself to be vulnerable.
Okay, that's when I'm done. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I was just kidding. I just thought it's time for James to come on the table. But I get it. Yeah,
right?
Being vulnerable is really lovely sometimes. But we want a guy and even a woman. Men don't like insecure women. Men don't like women who aren't very confident. So,
you know what?
Whatever you just did, I totally lost my thought there because I went into the universe on the. My third eye is opening.
How about it just being who you are as a person and not putting the men don't like this, men don't like that, women don't like this.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. But I'm just saying in general.
Somebody that, like I said, it's that frequency thing. Finding somebody that resonates with you, and even if there's work to be done when you're in alignment with each other, then there is a flow. But part of it is just allowing yourself to be out there and be willing to be in the unknown and be open for all possibilities. So it doesn't necessarily show up in the way that you expect. Or
it never does. Yeah.
And staying open for that, but staying in your heart. That's why I do a lot of work with people, because a lot of people have shut down the heart. They get hurt. They live in with past hurts. And so they've got walls and they shut that off. And the most important thing is to try and stay in the heart. And when you're in your heart, then your light shines. You're resonating that out to the people that are going to be attracted to that.
Just in case people didn't really understand, what does it mean to be in your heart? Does that mean that you always work from your heart? Does that mean that when you're angry at somebody or somebody does you wrong or you get frustrated or that you can't express yourself, you should come at a place of love and expect that they did the best they could or they didn't mean to do something?
Doesn't mean you can't express yourself. You always want to be able to express yourself, but it's in the words you choose and how you express yourself, right? So in relationships, when something comes up and an issue comes up, making the person feel safe to share it, right? And even if they're in a place of anger or frustration, remembering the person, looking at the whole person of who you know they are, and being able to listen to their radio station, without wanting to change the channel, but just listening to what they have to say, being open, coming from your heart in a loving way, and saying, okay, I need to listen. This person's hurting or angry or whatever it is, and not judging it, right? But allowing them the space to express. And then being able to discuss it and flow through it and move through it.
So what would you recommend for people who are out? Valentine's Day is coming up, which is why we're doing you.
Right.
I mean, you have a 50% off special for people who tweet right now. Oh, that's really lovely. Whatever. I feel the vibration through my uterus. Wow. That feels
Second
really
chakra.
Good. That's the second one?
Sensuality, right?
Oh, well,
Feminine.
that would make sense why I felt it there. It's like, whoa, that's amazing. What is the sexuality, the power place?
Power places.
The third
there's
one.
A lot of different power places. As far as your feminine, connecting to the feminine and the sensual, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna put James on the table, and I'm gonna. Oh, that feels really good. Okay, lovely. Jarvis, do we have any phone callers? That would be really hard to take them. Okay, I'm gonna put James on the table now, and you're gonna, work with her. But I think we should have a moment. Oh, here I am coming. I don't know where. Okay. Woo! How was that, Hyde? I feel like a new me. Well, hello, America. Where's my wine? Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to bring up here, Kirsten.
Yeah.
For people who really want to balance and get in alignment and just like be the best that they can be, and like have things, put themselves out there to meet somebody. I'm speaking in the mic. Is that not? Yeah. Okay. Would you recommend doing this? Because there's so many different things out here. There's so many earthy things for people to meditate and get in alignment and read this book and read that book. And, then some people, smoke pot, and some people drink wine, and some people run. And, there's all these different ways. There's not one way for one person.
Right.
So
somebody has to feel pulled to it.
I can't turn and look at you.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'll keep moving.
Okay. I'm like, I can't do that.
Somebody has to feel pulled, like anything else. If somebody feels pulled to the bowls,
Yeah.
then I always know that the right person will find me and want to do the work. And
is it a lot of work? Because you keep saying the word work, and I'm like, what is work? Like, what do you mean by work?
We're all trying to learn to move through things in life.
Did you want her to speak more in the microphone? Yes. Yeah, Kirsten.
So we're all trying to move through things in life.
Maybe we could put her up here and sit her somewhere. Should we
sit
go ahead and
down.
put her on the chair over here? We're just gonna put you on the chair. The bowls? Can they be played like instruments, or do you ever drum on them, or?
Well, I have other instruments as well that
Oh,
I
you
use.
do?
Yeah,
Okay.
chimes and drums and
Yeah.
other things when I'm doing the sound bath.
Should we give her this microphone? She
I
has
have
this
this
one.
one, yeah.
Okay, this one's over here. So, what is the bowling for bath? Or I just made that up right now. Bathing for love. Always be clean. ABCs. Always be clean and confident.
So it's using different vibrations, different instruments that I have as well. That's just calming the body.
Okay.
And I don't just do it on individuals. I do it with groups as well. So in groups we do like a group sound bath, and that's where
I don't think I would like that. I don't want to share
it's
my.
not for everybody.
I don't want other people's energy. I feel like it's a private thing. I think it's okay in a relationship, but has it ever come up if they're both open to it? But, sometimes one person in a relationship or even in a friendship doesn't really know how the other person feels. And they don't communicate effectively.
Right.
And one person thinks one thing, or they're in their fantasy land where they want it to be a certain way, and it's not that way for the other person.
Right.
So have you ever done this on a couple, or and you realize, or that came out that like one person's not really into the relationship, or
What has happened before is where couples where we do the sound bath together, and one connects in with it and the other doesn't. And
was that one on when I was talking, or was it? Okay, good.
and so you may end up just working with one of the people in the couples who feels like they just need some work to try and reconnect with their partner, and so there are instances where one may then want to work with me individually on things that they want to bring back into the relationship. And that's the thing. Like I
Cheers
said,
and the
people
wine.
have to resonate with it.
Right.
And so just like anything, if somebody feels like this is the kind of work they want to do with me, it's not, when I say work, I mean, we all are trying to grow and learn. And so when we're doing paths towards healing, whether or not we're doing self-help books or we're doing webinars or seminars or whatever it is, but
Yeah, and you know what? I think that there's a limit too. I think that if somebody could go to the bookstore and say, "Oh, I want this book," and if I read all these books, I'm going to find the right person or be available for that person or whatever.
Right.
You're right. It kind of comes to people if they're quiet enough to realize, "Hey, what do I need to do?" Or is this, is it really me that has the problem? Or am I attracting this certain type of person that's just not going to work for me?
But the reason I love this is, like you see, it goes in very deep, very fast, and it calms the body. And so there's like immediate things that can come up and be worked through. And sometimes for some people, it's just to relax from stress. So it's more like a sound massage.
You know, and that's great. Like if can people do it on themselves, you know, like if they're super stressed out? Because I feel like if I could have that vibration on me all the time, I would just, you know, I'd be, you know, chilling.
You can. There are people that have bowls. It's different when you're like anything. When
right.
when you're in a state where you're, you know, doing it on yourself and you're in the moment, as opposed to somebody that's doing it on you. Just like when you have a massage or something like that, it's a different experience. But
Right.
there are different techniques. Even when I'm teaching people, giving them tools, I try and give people things they can use even in 5 minutes in the car or during their day with breath work or listening to certain sounds that they can calm themselves in, you know.
And you know what? But that's private stuff. Like you don't want to, you know, be out on a date or something and be like, I need to calm down. I'm going to go ahead and start breathing. You know what I mean?
But you know, you can go. Actually, there's ways you can do things where if you're in a moment of anxiety or something, you can even take yourself to the bathroom and use certain tools just to pull yourself out of it in the moment.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah,
You know, because we've all been in an environment where somebody took something wrong or they over exaggerated or they kind of ruined the energy or the party or the date because they, you know, misunderstood something or, you know, they have their own stuff that's coming up. You know, a lot of problems early on in relationships is it going to come up that the person wants to be exclusive? And that's a huge thing for people who want a relationship, and if the other one doesn't. And if you find out in the middle of a date, I mean, that could go sour fast. So it's always good if people can hold themselves together and, you know, get through that situation and then be realistic. Hey, the person's not into me or I'm not into them. Let's do the right thing.
Right,
You know?
and in those fight or flight moments, you know, when
Yeah,
your heart
flight, yeah.
starts racing, and that affects your body and your breathing, and
Or when
your
you
heart
meet
rate goes
someone
up.
that's like
Yeah.
really handsome or she's really hot or really beautiful and you're like, I like her.
I mean,
And,
there's
you know,
all kinds of little techniques you can use, even humming to yourself. There's things that I'll teach people, even using your own
But don't
voice.
hum it. It's kind of funny when you hear people in the store. I hear people do that all the time. And I'll tell you what, it depends what their energy is behind the hum. It's not what the hum sounds like. It's like, are they having fun by themselves walking down the aisle? I do that. I walk down, you know, Rite Aid and I'm singing to the song on the radio, having the time of my life, looking at cleaning products, you know, or candles or whatever. And I see people looking at me going, you're having a good time. And then people start talking to you. And it's really fun. All of a sudden you're having like fun in the Rite Aid store, you know, when you didn't want to go there to begin with. But if you, you know, keep your energy and your vibration at a certain level, then, you know, you're more attractive to people.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Now, how did you can't see your man's here. You know, are you guys like twosome? Do you go everywhere together? Because that's so cute. You guys look very handsome together.
Thank you. I am very blessed to have a very amazing person in my life. And
how did you guys meet?
We've known each other for years.
Okay, were
as
you guys friends first? Oh,
Friends
see, this is
first.
so cool. I love the story. So this show is out of the friend zone, and it's helping men understand what women want. But really, my sole purpose behind it is to find out what's going on in someone's head, but also explain to them, you know, why people think a certain way, or, you know, get it out there. And, you know, just kind of like help people understand what the hell is going on in their head, because we don't understand what goes on in someone's head. And you can be friends with somebody.
Timing's everything. Things can shift. Being open, stepping into the unknown.
Well, when you guys were, see, that's scary. When you guys were friends, did you find each other attractive, but you were seeing other people?
I don't know.
Did you find her attractive, but you were seeing someone else?
There was definitely a connection between us.
There
Yeah.
There
was
was a connection that was spiritual, that was always there, and just like a similar resonance, I guess, frequency in some ways that was just a commonality, but not really being able to pinpoint him. Neither one was in that space of being ready to.
And then how long were you guys friends before, you know, you just
Like 7
made
years.
out? 7 years? You guys were friends for 7 years?
Yeah. We
Was it-
actually went to the same high school. It's just that
You
we
guys went to
didn't know
high
each-
school together?
We didn't know each other in high school.
You didn't know each other in high school?
No.
Thank you.
But part of, but
you,
also
James.
part of it was
Do I have
stepping
lion
into stepping into the unknown and being really willing to be open for all possibilities
Oh.
when you don't know what's actually unfolding.
So that's so interesting. Did you guys go, oh, we went to that high school, I went to that high school, and then you guys were like, how did we not know each other? Or were you guys different ages? Or
No, same age.
Oh, wow. How could you not know each other?
Different circles.
Wow, that's amazing. And then you ran into each other again and were friends.
At a reunion, yeah.
A high school reunion?
A high school reunion.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, I hear of that happening.
Yeah.
And then you guys stayed friends for 7 years when you met at the reunion? Mm-hmm. And did you ever really want to go out with him?
I think there's inklings of that stuff that you kind of know there's
I see
something.
you blushing. You're totally blushing.
There's something, but you're not sure. I mean, and there's just a really cherished friendship. And
Were you
so
guys
I
like
think-
call each other friends and tell each other about other relationships?
Yeah, we
and
discussed stuff.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is great.
And
I
if-
love hearing
if
that story.
things weren't working out, you try and just kind of be, open and talk about. I think we could talk about everything and anything pretty much.
There's a lot of people who go
So-
back. I have high school people who come to me and they tell my brother or my brother's friend, your sister's so hot, I've always liked her. And I didn't know. I had no idea in high school. And that's because some guys are shy. I see so many handsome guys look at me in the store, but they're not the ones who come up and say hi to me. And I'm shy sometimes by myself. So I look at them and I smile, and then I look away. And of course that closes the door. So I am guilty of that, I think, because I don't actually continue eye contact with them.
But when we talked about keeping in the heart, we did a lot of that work of trying to stay in the heart. And even when your mind chatter is going other places, or you're like, I don't know if this is the right timing, or I need this and this and this to be in place first, and people, and how we can all do that and go, well, I'm not ready, I need this and this and this, and then kind of trying to step out of it and go, well, there's something that's flowing, and so staying open for all the possibilities and just allowing that shift to happen naturally.
And the shift can
staying in your heart.
Right.
Staying in
And
your
the
heart.
shift can happen when people are calm and they get Tibetan bowls. They come to you for the bowling. Bowling for babes.
They come to get bold. Yes.
I'll have to be honest with you. There are so many in LA. There are so many people who are very spiritual or claim they are, or they meditate, and I'll be honest with you. There's a couple guys that I've met that I liked, and I felt they were too spiritual and too. There's a line that draws for me, and I'm sure for everybody. Men who are vegetarian and they meditate, and which is great. You should always meditate, and being vegetarian is great. But there's a line sometimes with like guys who are like too much, or women who are too much. I mean, I'm spiritual, and they look at me and think I'm not because I wear makeup and I'm a girly girl and I have little pretty pink shoes and a little pretty pink purse, and I flutter around like a butterfly, a little fairy, because sometimes I'm happy Heidi, right? But then I'm like, why do I have to have a mullet and look a certain way and live on a convent? Is that what it's called, where you run around naked in the middle of like, Michigan? What's it called?
Commune.
Whatever.
That would be an interesting convent.
I'm running around naked with the nuns, okay? Hey, what's the big deal? They're all spiritual. This is the thing.
The naked convent, as opposed to...
Do they all have their own shower, or do they share?
Don't
know. Just saying. They're showering with the Lord. They're getting baptized I'm just saying they're all doing it together. It's a bubble bath. It's a baptizing bath. But you know what I mean? There are people who are super spiritual naturally, and they don't talk about it. So like I believe in Jesus. I'm a Christian too, but I'm spiritual. I'm very deep. You can tell. I'm psychic too. But I always feel this connection. There's not a day that goes by where I don't have that connection. And I flutter around and I get all confused sometimes, and I want to do everything at one time, and I know I'm busy in my own head, but it's really fun sometimes. But, I'm grounded, but I'm always like thinking, sometimes I think this person is really attractive and I really like him, but I'm not like earthy or spiritual enough for him, or I don't eat a certain way all the time. Sometimes I'll eat, a bag of Cheetos. I'm not all organic all the time. I
know this. I mean, we run into this, right? Where people have different things, and you have to balance in the relationship and allow for each other to do what you need to do for yourself, and be able to be okay with that. I've gone through those same things as well, and we've when you deal with another individual, but everybody has their own things that their own habits or their own foods they like to eat or whatever it is. You just have to, if it's the right person, you flow through it, you discuss it together, and the most important thing is to be yourself and to allow the other person to be
that's important, and that's hard to do. So like, this is great that you brought this point up, because I feel like in especially in LA, or there's some people who are just shy, and it's difficult for them to be themselves because it's that vulnerable place that you're always covering up. And unfortunately, in relationships, I'm sorry, you got to have the vulnerable out, or it's not going to be real. There's no connection, And I've had boyfriends that were crybabies. I mean, dear Lord, my girlfriend's like, what do you do to them to make them cry? No, that was their way of manipulating me to get me to do what they wanted me to do. It's like if I wanted to leave them, they would cry, and so I'd feel guilty and not leave them, or whatever it was, which is very manipulating. And obviously the relationships didn't last. I've been proposed to 5 times. We figured out that I date men who are babies. They're children. So I need to date real men who don't have the inner child that they're still working with. But if men have the inner child, it's great to come to you and grow the boy up to the man.
Or sometimes it's not necessarily about growing them up, but it's just connecting to themselves. I think what happens is people get disconnected from themselves.
Yeah, that's a big
thing. And when
thing.
they don't know themselves, they don't know what they want to, if they don't know themselves well enough, then they're not able to know that in a relationship.
Right.
Because
so
they're not connected
there.
to themselves, their own heart, their own feelings, the stuff that's below the surface, or holding on to past stuff, or anger, or things that just needs to be released, or just reconnecting to their own hearts and who they are as a person and what they need.
I'll tell you what, that bowl felt so good on me. I feel that vibration through my body, and I feel very grounded, very solid.
I'm so glad.
It's really lovely. I mean, I could do that every day. Like when I went to sleep to your CD, I was like, wow, I have been looking for this answer forever. Do you know that? I've been like,
that's
why? I know when I was a child, I begged my father on my 5th birthday. I did not want to be married when I was young. That was it. Like that's predetermined. That was predetermined. There's no way I could have known that. I hung on to his belt buckles when I was 5, and all my girlfriends were like, I can't wait to be like Cinderella, and the prince and the white horse is going to come taking me away. And I was like, that doesn't happen that's not how it works, girls. The cartoons are polluting your mind. I was a smart little kid, right? So I purposely sought out not to get married right away after high school. I've been proposed to 5 times. And I keep saying, in 2 years, Well, if somebody says that, I think we all know that it's like, well, there's a problem. If I'm saying in 2 years and then, 6 months more, I'm like 2 more years. You know what I mean? But now I'm ready and I'm grounded, which is really cool. It's a cool feeling to feel like, hey, I'm okay with myself. I love myself. I love hanging out by myself. I told you that. Sometimes I can hang out inside Heidi's head a little too much. It's a little too much work up there. But so this is called, bathing. Is that, what's it called?
The sound bath.
It's called a sound bath. It's being
Although I
clean.
did have somebody show up to a group once that was coming to a sound bath, and he brought his bathing suit.
Oh
and
my God, that's
I
so
said, we will not be going into water. He didn't know. So
He just wanted to be naked with the girls. Right. I'm sorry. Was he a man? It was a man,
was
right?
a man,
Of
yes.
course it was a man.
It was very sweet. And
if there was a bunch of women who showed up with their bikini, that would be a different story. Nobody would have a problem with it. But of course, with the men show up wanting to be, naked, we think they're perverts, which is...
He was just being very sweet and just very open for whatever was coming.
I'm sure he was.
Yes.
So, Kirsten, give us your website again and all of your social media where people can get a hold of you, because we're going to give away 50% off for a couple who tweets or through Periscope or UBN, because we're on Periscope Live. Have you ever done Periscope Live?
I haven't.
Oh my gosh, it's so addicting. I did it 7 times yesterday.
7 times?
7 videos. I picked lemons and I was doing it during that. It was so fun. I'm learning it. I couldn't chat back with people, but you can actually see people when they message you. They're not actually watching you through the camera, which is good, because that would be like, voyeuristic.
I have to try this Periscope.
It's like strange people are like showing up on your, hey, I see you. It's like, whoa, But so your website is Kirsten?
Is Kirsten Korot, Kirsten Korot.
It's Kirsten, not Kristen, yeah.
Korot, KOROT.com,
Okay.
or on Twitter, Kirsten Korot, Facebook, Kirsten Korot, and my email, kirstenkorot@gmail.com.
Yeah, and you have a safe place that people can come to and have
Yes,
the
I have my
sessions
healing
done.
room. Yes, so they
Okay.
can either come to me. I do go to people as well. I have some people that I work with that are very ill, that are dealing with cancer and other things. So I do, go to them, or if somebody wants a private in their house.
You know what
I
I
will
think
do
would
that
be
as well.
amazing, since our world is opening up with all this spiritual stuff. I mean, I started eating carob chips, when I was like 12, but nobody else knew about them. But like it's because of the organic store showed up in the neighborhood. And then my mother's like, "It's time to meditate now, kids. We need to relax, everyone relax." So but everyone's into it now. It's a normal thing. It'd be great to start like kids or preteens doing the bowls. So when they have those issues that come up at that age, which is where they usually come up and they stick with, and it creates all these false beliefs in people's heads. And then, you have perfectly normal, wonderful people running around the streets acting like they're not themselves. Nobody really knows who they are. And they're in relationship and nothing's real. They're on the internet sites, putting, profiles or saying things about themselves that's not real. Eventually, the truth is going to come out. So you might as well just be honest with yourself.
And kids love the sound of the bowls.
I'm
have
sure they
some-
do. I
some
love the sound
clients-
of the bowls.
And some of the babies really love
I
it.
bet.
And
Does
kids,
that stop babies from like screaming and crying?
it just calms them down. They get fascinated by the sounds, and not so much putting the vibration on them because they're little, but just listening to the sounds of the bowl and just getting them to kind of close their eyes and be playful with it. It's a different approach, but even, younger kids that understand closing your eyes and just breathing, and you
Meditating.
can do,
You know how to
can
meditate,
do,
yeah.
You can do little imagery, fun games with them, dragons and magical stuff that
You could do that with your husband too. You can kind of manipulate him. Now, honey, I'm going to do this. Is there such thing as witchcraft, or which is real? Since you're, psychic and spiritual, I just want to know. Because I always hear people saying, "Oh, I'm going to put a curse on that guy," or "I'm going to try to get him," or "I'm going to make him love me just off getting a piece of his hair."
I don't delve into that. I don't know. I don't
But
negate or not.
You are psychic. So what is your gut instinct, your first impression?
I think that there's all kinds of different people that have different cultural and spiritual backgrounds. I think that the whole idea of witches being something
No. I just want
bad
to. I just want to
think
know
that-
if somebody gets a piece of your hair, can they make somebody fall in love with them by doing
that
a
I have
spell?
no idea.
Oh well, okay. That's not. That doesn't happen in Tibet with the.
I don't
Tibetan
do that.
bowls.
I don't think the monks do that. No.
No. The monks don't need to do that.
That's
The
right.
monks are centered and solid inside themselves, right?
That's right. That's right.
So thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm telling you what, we're gonna do some more Tibetan bowls, and we are gonna Periscope it. Anybody who's watching UBN Radio, we have to go to the 420 show here soon. It's the marijuana show. He's a wonderful, funny doctor. It's a different kind of bowl, but it's still the same bowl. We're all bowling here. You didn't laugh at that one, Kirsten.
I did. Internally, I'm laughing.
I want to hear you laugh at that. It depends what kind of bowl you want, I'm just saying, we're gonna bowl now. we're gonna bowl and bathe. Okay, that's enough, Heidi. So anyway, Out of the Friend Zone has been brought to you, by the way, confidence, teeth, smiles is very important for people. So if people feel some insecurity about one issue, can that one issue, can you help them through bowling?
Yeah, what I do is I don't just do the sound. I do coaching as well, so that the stuff that comes up,
So what do
we
you
work
like?
through.
Do you say to them when you're bowling and the chime noise?
We do when we do the imagery and issues come up, then we
okay.
talk through and work through those.
So
things.
if somebody's not happy with a physical quality of theirs that they cannot change, can they, you can really walk them through it?
I think it's about learning self-love, right, acceptance, and things like that.
Because
But
I
seeing
want a
what
nose
comes-
job, and I don't feel insecure about it at all. My nose is too big. It's not that big, but it's too big. And I know because I'm sponsored by Dr. Craig Thede at SoCalOralSurgery.com, and he actually did surgery on me. I woke up during surgery and bit him. It was really wonderful. I love the propofol. He had to give me 2 times the amount. And I'm like 2 feet, I'm 2 feet tall, and I'm weigh like, 90 pounds. I'm like, it's like, whoa, that little girl really has a lot of energy. You're right. My brain is active during surgery. I mean, really. But, so I can drive any man crazy. I try to shut up around him, though, because, they just can't handle it. But they can. They like me. Anyway, back to you. What I was saying was I'm sponsored by, the teeth guy, the tooth godfather. He's amazing, and he does wonderful teeth work. But during the surgery after, I know he noticed my nose, and it's fine. It's just a little long. This is one part I want chopped off. I don't feel insecure about it, and I never would have said this 10 years ago because I thought when people got nose jobs, that meant they were insecure, right? But no, I don't think it is. I think maybe if somebody wants a little nip and tuck somewhere, I'm not saying have a lot of plastic surgery. I don't agree with that. I'm just saying your nose stays with you and it shows up in photos. So that's the one thing that you should fix. But if somebody has an issue that they cannot get over, can you help them with the Tibetan bowls?
As far as physical issues that they can't get over, I mean, what we do is we
whatever
work on,
their issues are, it's totally different with different people.
It's a matter of really just working on, like I said, acceptance and self-love and getting comfortable and looking at where that issue comes from. Is it something that was said to them when they were a kid that they're holding on to, or there's more to it a lot of times below the surface.
I feel so calm with you. This is the calmest show I've ever had in my life. Usually,
I'm sorry.
I'm dancing on the table with wine. And you were a rock star.
I was a rock and roller. This is my calm side.
Yeah, were you a singer?
I was a singer.
And were you a crazy singer and into drugs or?
No, didn't do the drug thing.
Well, what did you do when you were crazy? You just had liquor?
We just had fun. I mean, I didn't get into the whole drug and drinking scene. We worked hard.
What was the name of your band?
Mosaic. It was all girls.
Okay. Well, of course. It sounds, I saw the photos. It's like a bunch of wild girls who didn't party, but they were rock stars.
We had fun. We were always writing music, and we were out and doing shows. And
were you guys signed
people.
by a label or just doing shows? Was it here in L.A.?
We got close, but they didn't know what to do with us at the time.
Well, there's 4 of you guys. What are they going to do?
Well, we were doing thinking women's music, and we weren't doing bubblegum pop, and they were like, we don't know what to do with these girls. But
oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you went over to a different kind of instrument to move people.
Yeah, that's how I got into it.
That's very exciting. It's really great to have you on the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
And you stay here. We're going to be bowling. Can I bowl on you, or do you have to be experienced Tibetan bowler for somebody to bowl on you?
You could try it.
What is it called? What's the tinging called? What is it like? Ting, ting, ting. What is that called?
It's vibration. It's sound vibration.
Oh,
so
okay. It sounds like chimes to me.
Right.
All right.
But it's the ringing of the bowl. So,
Right.
but it's playing the Tibetan bowls. It doesn't really have a
we don't need a
name to it.
description.
It's a sound
Thank
bath.
you so much, Kirsten, for coming on the show. And we are so excited to have everyone go to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing the 50% off for people. It's
Yes.
KIRSTEN KOROT. And happy Valentine's Day, because if you really want to spice up your love life, bring a guy there. That'd be a fun first date. You could say they're compatible or they're not because of how the bowls sync and their vibrational level. Really? I just made that up right now. Am I right? Okay, she's not going to go there. I'm Heidi Selexa with Out of the Friend Zone. Next week, by the way, we have this psychic Mia who's coming on.
Yes,
and
I know her.
You know Mia.
Yes.
Right, because Renee Lynn, my other sponsor, is age interventionist. That's why my skin's so pretty. Thank you, Renee.
Yes, thank you, Renee.
Except sometimes on camera, I'm like, what the hell do I look like this? Because it's the lighting. It's just, we're working on the angles and the lighting. It's not what I look like in the mirror. I took a photo of myself before the show. It looks different than this. I don't even know who I am sometimes.
I don't know who I am either.
I mean, I do,
sometimes,
but when I look in the when I see the show, I'm like, what? That's not me. Hello. That's not the mirror that I look in. And I don't get that. But anyway, so Mia's going to be on the show next week, and she's fabulous.
She is.
She's very, very psychic. So why don't we go ahead and give the number out now for people to call? Has she ever done a reading on you?
We're so close as friends that it's like we sort of pick up on each other.
Oh.
And I've done the bowls on her, and we
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's really fun. Well, Mia is going to be here next week. She's psychic. So feel free to call in for all of your Valentine's Day questions. It's area code 323-284-7826. That's 323-284-7826. And we are going to stay in Periscope and Chime or Bowl, whatever we're going to bathe over here, okay?
We're going to bowl.
We're going to bowl.
And bathe.
I'm Heidi Selexa with Out of the Friend Zone. See you next week. Thank you. Thank you so much,
You're
Chris.
listening to Out of the Friend Zone with Heidi Selexa. Yeah.